Welcome to Oslo, Norway, everyone. X Games Norway 2019 here inside the Telenor Arena. This is Monster Energy Moto X Best Trick. Hello, everyone. Jimmy Coleman here in the booth alongside Mike Mason. We have 8 riders in the field out here today. And, well, Mike, let's talk about some of these storylines. The Australians have been extremely dominant when it comes to Moto X Best Trick in the history of the X Games.
Yeah, the Australians got a lock on this thing right now. Jacko Strong, Rob Adelberg, Josh Sheehan, you know, they've all been riding great. And I think they got to be the favorites going into this event as well.
Well, Josh Sheehan's got that double backflip and double backflip combos and his arsenal of tricks. But let's talk about the career run that Rob Adelberg's had the last 2 years.
Yeah, Rob has been riding amazing. He has elevated his game up a lot, you know, getting the front flip down with Jacko Strong and just doing all kinds of good right side up tricks, good flip tricks, varials, you name it.
Jackson Strong has been the most successful best trick competitor in X Games history. He has a perfect 7 medals in 7 starts. He's got 5 gold and 2 silver. Speaking of competition results, let's talk about the most recent finishes here in best trick history at the X Games. You got Jackson Strong that was coming off of that, or excuse me, David Ronaldo, or this is Jackson Strong going back to X Games Shanghai. This was June of this year.
Yeah, this year's flying right by Shanghai. It feels like it was just a couple months ago, and Jacko taking the win there.
And then David Ronaldo comes out and blows everybody's mind with a brand new trick with a body varial in the middle of a backflip.
That was probably the most insane thing I've ever seen on a dirt bike. You know, to come out with a brand new trick, that's what Best Trick and X Games is all about.
So here's how it works at Moto X Best Trick, Monster Energy Moto X Best Trick. And that, we have 6 riders in the field out here today, and basically they're each going to get 2 attempts. It is the better of your 2 attempts that count. The maximum points you can get per attempt is 100 points. The question is, what is it going to take to get a win out here today? David Ronaldo's not here in the mix, so we will not see that body varial backflip combo. However, you got Rob Adelberg and Jackson Strong talking about those 2 guys again. They have the front flips. They also have front flip combos as well, Mike.
Yeah, the front flip combos are going to be hard to beat. I mean, we've seen that over the last year or so, but I wouldn't count out guys Luke Ackerman, Josh Sheehan. You know, you never know what they're going to bring, and you know, Luke's a new guy here. He wants to really, you know, state his name.
So we started off here in round number 1. We're going to take a look at a freestyle motocross veteran here out of Barcelona, Spain. This is Edgar Torrenteras, also known as ET. X Games Norway 2019 will be his 9th appearance. He has a Best Whip gold medal from Barcelona back in 2013.
Yeah, Edgar's one of the true pioneers of freestyle motocross. And right there, I mean, the guy's 39 years old, and he just did a huge kiss of death Indian air. You know, he's not really known for his best trick stuff. He is more of a whip guy, but like I said, he's been around in this thing since day one. It's cool to see him still out here.
Yeah, the elder statesman in the group out here at 39 years old just sends that one and has great extension here to get this Monster Energy FMX or Moto X Best Trick party started.
Yeah, and that's no piece of cake trick. You know, that trick still, there's not many guys that do it and do it that well. You can see him looking through and getting full extension, a full kick on the legs, which is why we call it the Indian air. And landing smooth. I mean, everything was good about that, but when you got front flips and double back flips behind you, you got to step up a little more than that.
Freestyle's getting kind of scary these days. I mean, you're watching these guys throw double backflips and front flip combos in practice like it's nothing.
Yeah, and like I said, Edgar's trick right there was no easy trick by any means, but it's going to take a lot to step up and get into that medal position.
So again, the best possible score you can get is 100. So ET's going to start it off with an 84 flat, so not a bad way to get this party started here for the Spaniard right there. Packed house here inside the Telenor Arena. First time we've ever had dirt bikes out here at X Games Norway, kind of melding of the winter and summer sports. Our next competitor we're going to see here out of Germany, this is Luke Ackerman. We missed him in Minneapolis this year due to a broken right leg. Youngest to backflip a motorcycle in 2010. He was only 12 years old. And you mentioned it, he also has the double backflip in his arsenal of tricks, Mike.
Yeah, line up the super kicker right here. Massive double backflip. I mean, he just rolled right out of the gate when they told him to go. He went for it. Some guys have a little routine they want to do and kind of get mentally prepared for it, but Luke showing that young age, that wild man guy, just going for it.
I said he was the youngest to land a backflip on a dirt bike at age 12. He was also the youngest to land a double backflip in October 2017 when he was only 19 years old.
And back to what you were saying earlier, just these guys are making double backflips look so easy now. Back in my day, it was like the hugest hype event ever to like make sure that the guy was going to get around twice. But Luke, Sheeny, these guys make it look easy.
Yeah, well, it seems like it wasn't that long ago where if you had this trick, you were assured a best trick win. And nowadays, you're seeing these guys just throw them with relative ease. I mean, Josh Sheehan blows my mind with that trick, especially because you see that guy crash those sometimes, and he gets up and just kind of dusts himself off and keeps going.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. You can get up from a double backflip now and continue and take a second run.
Yeah, these guys are insane. That was a really smooth double flip. Got a good score there. That's a
89.33 for Luke, so he's going to be pretty hyped about that one.
Yep, that's a great first score.
Rob Adelberg due up next in the mix here. X Games Shanghai 2019. He was your silver medalist in Moto X Best Trick.
Yeah, no, it looks like that might actually be Jacko going first. They might have a little mix up in the run order there. Nice no-handed front flip there. These guys are just starting to get too comfortable with these front flips. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, I believe that was Jacko.
That was Jackson Strong.
Yeah, I think they just maybe had the run order messed up a little bit.
Yeah, they got the run order messed up there. That was actually Jackson Strong.
Not hard to do. Both these guys are doing the same tricks and riding good. So right there you can see just full commitment off the ramp. Great extension on the no-handed flip. Yeah. Like, it is just insane the level these guys got to. I believe in Minneapolis in 2018, it was so crazy to barely get their hands off. Now they're holding them off almost all the way around the rotation. See that dirt grabbing him a little on the landing there, almost sticking him, but
it's wild how he tucks into that. You see him lean forward, almost kind of a double tuck right there. But again, look at the extension. Nothing tentative about that. Hangs the hands off the bars, hangs onto it for the max amount of time.
Yeah, front flip's just full commitment too. It's one of those things, right when you take off the ramp, you're just going off blind, and back flips, you can speed up or slow down the rotation. Front flips, it's all or nothing right off the ramp.
Yeah, he was actually supposed to go last in the run order right there. That was supposed to be Rob Adelberg, so we'll see if we get Rob into the mix.
That's what we're here for. We'll clarify, get it all cleaned up.
95 flat right there for Jacko. Like I said earlier, in his 7 FMX Best Trick starts, he's got 7 medals. So he sits in that top spot as of right now with a 95 flat. Clinton Moore, a 5-time X Games bronze medalist in 3 Moto X disciplines, those being quarter pipe, best trick, and freestyle. X Games Norway 2019 is his 9th appearance.
And Clinton's getting to be one of those seasoned veterans now. Nice vault. Best trick is so gnarly now. These guys, just their first jump. The vault, the double backflip, the front flip, those used to be tricks that they would wait for the last guy to go, and it'd be just a one-and-done type of trick, and now these guys throwing it all out right away.
Good to see Clinton back in the mix. We ended up losing him at X Games Minneapolis last year due to a broken leg. And then he had some problems at X Games Minneapolis this year. His suspension that he shipped over from Australia didn't make it in time, and he had a big crash there as well. So definitely good to see Clinton feeling comfortable on his own equipment out here in Norway.
Yeah, looking solid. Great first trick there. I think that trick, it has been around for a while, but I think it gets overlooked. There's not a lot of guys doing the actual vault varial. A lot of them go to Cali rolls, which is where you take off holding the seat, spin around the seat, but he's fully hanging off the side of that bike, spinning around, and I think he deserves a little more credit for that.
Well, that was good enough to get him in 3rd right now. He's looking at the podium there, gets an 88.33 with that body varial there. Again, this is round 1 out of 2. It's the better of your 2 runs that count here at Monster Energy Moto X Best Trick. Josh Sheehan out of Donnybrook, Australia. 10 medals in 23 X Games starts. He got a bronze medal in Minneapolis earlier this month in Moto X Best Trick. And well, if you like double backflips, this guy can deliver one of the best looking ones in the business for you. He just muscles that bike around.
Yeah, Sheeny definitely muscles the thing around, and just such a solid guy. He's been really consistent the last 5, 6, 7 years of freestyle motocross. I mean, he's landed a triple backflip, the only rider to ever do that, so I'm sure the double feels pretty normal to him.
Just sends that one double with your hands off. The no-handed double backflip, courtesy of Josh Sheehan here.
Great extension to it. And these guys, they're not holding anything back. It doesn't matter if it's Minneapolis, Norway, China, wherever we're at. These guys are going for it. They want those medals. I mean, the double flip was perfect. He held the hands off all the way through the rotation. Yeah, excellent trick.
Watch where he takes his hands off, though. He goes into that first rotation, then the hands come off. You got to get your hands back on the bars and then yank into that second rotation. That part of that just baffles me.
And I can't tell you how strong Sheeny has to be to hold on to that bike. I mean, he's got foot hooks and everything to keep him on there, but you know, the bike's spinning away from you, and you're basically letting go of it. And you know, like I said, the extension on that thing, just how long he holds it off right there. Textbook no-hander, bars stay straight, brings it in smooth.
Josh is also one of 3 X Games Moto athletes to take 3 Moto events at a single X Games, the other 2 being Clinton Moore and Mike Metzger. So a little bit of stats on him. That's some good company to be in right there with that stat right there. Yeah. Sheeny having some fun. 93.33. So that'll bump Clinton Moore out of the top 3 right now. So it's strong. Sheehan and Ackerman, your 1, 2, 3 as of right now. Now we will see Rob Adelberg. We were supposed to see him earlier, but they ran Jackson Strong first. So now Rob Adelberg comes into the mix. So here is your guy who took a silver medal in Moto X Best Trick at X Games Shanghai back in June of this year.
What a career Rob's having. I call him a little bit of a late bloomer. I think the first time I rode a show with him was 2007, you know, and I think these last 4 or 5 years, he's really come into his own.
Setting the front flip there, taking the hands off. And again, it's so insane. I mean, it's insane how easily both him and Jackson Strong do that trick.
Yeah, just 1 year ago, they were barely getting their hands off. Rob had just done his first front flip, and now you watch practice, these guys throw front flips like they're back flips. The hands are coming off a lot longer. Everything's progressing with this trick.
So what's it going to come down to with the score here between him and Jackson? Jackson netted a 95 flat right there. I mean, basically, this one's going to, I mean, the judges are looking for the minutiae at that point to break down. I mean, they're looking for the slightest little slip up here to try to differentiate between the 2.
Yeah, the judges got their work cut out for him. Drake McElroy and crew, they're all riders. They know what they're looking at. There was 2 different styles there, if you've noticed. Rob's hands were kind of, we call it suicide, where they're behind him, where Jacko's were kind of out in front of him. I mean, maybe that's something little the judges can pick apart to separate these scores.
So you got 2 score in the 90s in your top 3, and then it rounds out with an 89.33.
Judges right there stressing a little bit, making sure they're doing their job accurate.
So 2 scores in the 90s, and now 3 scores into the 90s. So a 95, a 94, and a 93.33. So the judges feel that Jackson's front flip no-hander was just a little bit more dialed in, so they gave him an extra point there. So Rob will slide into second as of right now. So it's Strong, Adelberg, and Sheehan, your 1, 2, 3 as of right now. But that's just round 1. We still have round 2 yet to come. So at the end of round number 1, it's Strong, Adelberg, your 1, 2, 3 with another round of runs still to come when we come back to the Telenor Arena here at X Games Norway. Welcome back inside the Telenor Arena here in Oslo, Norway for X Games Norway 2019. This is round 2 of Monster Energy Moto X Best Trick. Round 1 is already in the books, and it's a couple of front flips and a double backflip that have you in your top 3 spots as of right now. Jackson Strong sits in the top spot with a 95 flat. Rob Adelberg just sits a point behind him with a 94, and Josh Sheehan in that number 3 position with a 93.33. However, we still have one more round of runs to go. So we start off round at number 2 here with Edgar Torrenteras. Edgar sitting in that number 6 position right now. Oldest rider in the field out here. One of the vets here at 39 years old out of Barcelona, Spain.
It's awesome to see Edgar out here. Like I said, he was even before my day. You know, and I came in probably almost 10 years after him. And he's just having fun. Like I said, he's going to be more of a whip guy, but it's cool to see him out here and still holding it down for us old boys.
Yeah, working double duty out here this weekend, doing best trick as well as best whip, and going for the massive combo move right there. There was a heck of a lot going on there.
There was a lot going on. That's Edgar for you. He's a spastic guy, but
that no-hander lander might have been an afterthought at the end of that. Like, why, you know, I'm going to get 2 or 3 things thrown in this. Let's add one more.
Yeah, you see a saran wrap to kind of super can Indy type deal, the no-hander lander. That is a lot going on, 75 feet. There's not that much time to do all that kind of stuff. Edgar, like I said, just probably having some fun with it. The crowd sometimes likes to see something a little different. We see all the gnarly stuff all the time, but every once in a while, a standard trick's not so bad.
That looked pretty cool, though, swinging out on the saran wrap, and then to the opposite side there. Then let's go. He's hanging on with one hand and then back. And then, you know what? I'll take my hands off the last second. Why not?
What do you think? Does it score higher than his KOD, Andy?
I would think not.
I just had to put you on the spot. See how much you actually know.
That's your job. I'm supposed to do that to you. Well, that's why you're in the analyst chair.
A little trivia for you every once in a while.
That. Thanks, though. I'm going to stick with the 84 flat. Obviously, ET having some fun out here today. Again, the maximum points that you can score in one run is 100. Hope that is 79.66 that second go around, but good to see Edgar Torrenteras in the mix out here. Luke Ackerman threw out a double backflip in round number 1. That's not even good enough these days to get you in the top 3 as of right now. He sits in 4th with an 89.33. What is he going to do this time around, Mike?
He's lining up to 75. If I had to guess, it'd be some sort of 3.
And just sends that one. I mean, that's almost like a BMX style flat spin of how he does that. It's impressive to watch Luke do his 360s.
I love watching Luke's 360s. A lot of the guys that were 360ing back in our day did a little more of a flip type of spin.
Like an off-axis flip kind of thing, how that's evolved over the years.
Yeah, Luke's just flat spin, muscling it around, showing off that pretty little face.
I mean, that's a 225-pound machine right there that you're just flattening out as you rotate around a complete 360.
Yeah, you can just see him in full control right there, locking up the back wheel a couple times maybe to help with the spins. I don't know if it's speed it up or slow it down, but total control. Luke's such a solid guy. He's going to be around the sport for a long time.
So we had that double back the first time around, got him at 89.33. And if you're wondering, well, what's the difference between him and Josh Sheehan? Remember, Josh ended up taking his hands off on his double backflip, so that is the difference maker, if you will. So Luke will stick with that first run score, and he'll finish just outside of the podium here in Norway 2019.
Yeah, not a bad result. He's got to be stoked to be back after missing Minneapolis. That was a good showing.
Jackson Strong currently sitting in that number 1 spot with a 95 flat. We mentioned that he is a perfect 7 for 7. 7 best trick starts. He's walked away with 7 different medals. Looking to add to that tally, looking to make it 8 in a row. What do you think he's going to throw into the mix? We've already seen the no-handed front flip out of him in the first attempt.
Yeah, just going with the same trick again. I think maybe
hanging out there a little longer.
Yeah, every once in a while, even if he got a good score, maybe it was something personally that he just didn't feel was perfect with it. He wanted to go back and kind of get a little redemption. That should be close to the same score, maybe a little better. His hands did look like they were off a little bit longer. 2 solid jumps out of Jacko.
Taking another look at it here. I mean, he's been doing these front flips. I mean, if you're going to go back in the best trick history books of the X Games, this goes all the way back to 2011 when we were still in the Staples Center in Los Angeles. That's the first time he unleashed the front flip on us, and it's been working for him for many, many years. He's been dominant. Now he's doing front flip combos.
And that shows how hard this trick is. I mean, it's been around since 2011, and Jacko and Rob are pretty much the only two guys doing it they have what we call a mechanical ramp, which will kind of assist you in the front flip. But Jacko and Rob are doing it off just our standard comp ramp, and like I said, that shows how tough it is.
And you can see the reaction by the fans inside the Telenor Arena here. So again, he netted himself a 95 flat in the first go around. And he's going to bump up a full point right there. So obviously the judge is feeling that he held the hands off a little longer, a little bit more extension on that go around. So he bumps it up another point right there and solidifies that top spot just a little bit more here. We are down to our final 3 riders.
Yeah, I'm expecting something big out of Clinton Moore here. He's got all the variables. I know, kind of have an idea what he's probably going to do, and I want to see him, pull it off clean and land this thing.
He had an 88.33 the first go around with the body varial there. It's got him sitting in 5th place, lining up to get under power here for his second final attempt. This is Clinton Moore.
Oh, nice landing. There it is. That's the Bundy Indy. He's one of the only guys doing that. I think it was done once, I believe, by Kyle Loza, but still to this day, Clinton's the only guy pulling it successfully, and we call it an Indy as well because he did kick those legs a little bit.
Looked like he got back on the bike a little bit late there at the very end of that. I had to take a breath for that. I was like,
yeah, that's just him trying to maximize all the extension and get the most out of it before he's coming down.
You know, and again, to tell his story, X Games last year, broke his right leg, tib fib, had to get surgery and had to watch that contest go down from his hospital room. And then going into Minneapolis this year was super disappointed. Shipped 2 suspensions over there. They didn't make it. He got it the morning of best trick, but still, like, it was just in his head that whole weekend. So good to see him feeling good here in Norway.
Yeah, and just right there, these camera angles are going to show you how gnarly this trick is. I really think the judges should evaluate this trick a little more. I know it is an older trick, but there is so much going on there. He's holding onto the bars upside down right there. You can see with his left hand. And
watch that struggle with that right hand to try to fight to get back to the bars.
Yeah, exactly. That's just such a gnarly trick. There's so much going on there. A front flip's all or nothing. You commit to it. But it takes a lot of skill and brain power to kind of know where you're at on that bike the whole time. Get back to the pegs. He's throwing an Indian there and there. That's an awesome trick.
It's just one of those things, too, where you're used to seeing Clinton do this all the time, that you kind of forget about it, and then sometimes you see it in slow motion and you're like, oh yeah, I forget how gnarly that trick is, because I mean, he's been doing this for years now.
That's what's hard about it, is he's been doing it for a while, so I think we're kind of jaded by it. But like I said, if I'm just going off the ability to ride and thinking of how a front flip is to how his Bundy Indy is there, I don't know, man. That's close.
That got him into the 90s with a 91.33. However, that's not going to put him in podium contention as of right now. So we're down to our final 2, Josh Sheehan and Rob Adelberg. Josh currently sits in a bronze medal position here by virtue of that double backflip no-hander that we saw in round number 1.
I'm guessing right here he's probably going to go for another one, kind of do the same thing Jacko did, maybe just clean it up a little bit. Oh, and that was great extension on the no-hand there.
Dare I say that he not only did he get the hands up, but it looked like the upper body, he kind of leaned back a little bit more than what we saw in that first attempt.
Definitely. He was going for it a little more. That was his last jump. He had to throw something big. And, like I said, these guys, you want to get your first jump out of the way, kind of have a safe score. And, I mean, he's sitting third. No one's going to pass him for the top 3, so why not go for it?
And again, I mean, it's just so wild to me. I mean, you're going into the first rotation, then the hands come off, and then the hands get back to the bars, and then you're yanking. And even more so than that second attempt, I mean, watch how he leans back. It's hard to tell from that shot, but the next one
just keeps his hands off almost the whole first rotation there. That's so gnarly. When I used to do no-handed flips over 75 feet, it was a huge deal to keep my bars straight, to find my bars, make sure I was landing good, and he's doing 2 flips, spotting landings, making sure he's rotating right, and keeping his hands off through the first rotation there. That's just insane. Massive extension there. I'm stoked for Sheeny. Back to what I was saying earlier, he's been one of the most consistent guys in this sport over the last 5 or so years, and he's just still, sticking with the young guns.
Well, just going back to earlier this month in Minneapolis, he got a bronze medal in best trick, he got a silver medal in freestyle, so he had a really good appearance there in Minneapolis. So
They're going to push his first score, kind of keep it the same.
93 flat, so they're going to dock him a little bit on that one. So they're saying the first one was better, so that 93.33 from round number 1, that is going to be the one that holds up. But again, he's going to walk out of here with yet another best trick podium. So making 2 bronze medals in his last 2 appearances, but it all comes down to this last run. Rob Adelberg had a 94 with a front flip no-hander. It was a 1-point separation between him and Jackson Strong. Jackson's bumped it up another point. This is the only guy that can take this win away right now from Jackson Strong. It comes down to this last attempt, Mike.
Yeah, he needs a massive extension there. That
is not going to do it. That was a little scary on the landing there, but you can see the tentativeness on the hands coming off.
Landing a little front and high, and yeah, he needed more. I feel like that was the same or maybe a little less, so I think Jacko's got this thing, honestly. You can see he's not thrilled with it. Everything was good there. It's just he probably felt the rotation was a little slow. You could see he came down on the back wheel there. Man, that trick's just so gnarly when you watch it. You know, in slow-mo, you can just see how much is going on. And
you know, at that angle, he actually got better extension than it looked like at real-time speed. So
he did.
I take back what I said right there.
He did
Something
get better.
happened in that takeoff.
Yeah, and you never know. He might have been thinking about a no-hander lander or something. You know, trying to get a combo going in there and just rush the trick a little bit, or rush the rotation, I should say, not the trick. But all in all, I'm sure he's going to be happy with a second if that's what the end result is.
He's coming off his first ever freestyle gold in Minneapolis earlier this month as well. He got 4th in best trick there in Minneapolis. He had a snow bike best trick win at X Games Aspen in January to start off the year. So again, I mean, he had a great 2018, and you know, he's off to pretty much where he left off 2018 here in 2019. So there you go. Jackson Strong walks out of here with a gold medal in Monster Energy Moto X Best Trick, followed by Rob Adelberg and Josh Sheehan. Your 1, 2, 3, but that makes 8 medals in 8 starts in this event for Jackson Strong, so the streak stays alive here in Norway.
This seems like a pretty familiar podium lately, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And again, that's another all Aussie sweep right there of the podium. So again, it's Strong, Adelberg, Sheehan, your 1, 2, 3. As we send it down to the floor for an interview with Jackson Strong.
Jacko, how are you able to stay so consistent in a sport that has so much risk and so much progression? You're now 8 for 8 in this event.
I think that it just comes down to training and hard work, but at the end of the day, it can be anyone's game out here. Everyone, it's just who's on for the day, and I think I'm just a bit luckier. I've got lucky a few times, so it's just, yeah, it's a gnarly sport. At the end of the day, it's just to stay safe, and if everyone comes away safe, it's a happy day.
What's going through your mind when you do a front flip and then take your hands off of a motorcycle?
Is this censored? Can I say bad words on here? Because that's what's going through my mind.
And what about all these Norwegian fans? You think we're going to see some Norwegian riders next year?
I think so. There's a lot of young fans here. Little kid over there with a dirt bike jersey on, 6-year-old. So it's exciting for the future of the sport. Lovely country, love being here, and it's I just can't wait to come back. Hopefully we can be on the snow bike next year as well over there.
Now we're talking. Congratulations on your 6th gold, Jacko Strong.
Cheers, Jack.
So there you go, Jackson Strong taking home yet another Moto X Best Trick gold medal. And your final thoughts as we wrap up this competition, Mike?
Yeah, just what an event. Front flips are the normal thing, double backflip, no-hander, normal thing, and I am way out of my league. I'm glad I'm up here.
Where do we go in 2020 and beyond? We will just have to see. So a big night here in the Telenor Arena. But at the end of the day, it's double backflips and front flip combos that get you on the podium out here at X Games Norway 2019. Congratulations to Josh Sheehan and Rob Adelberg, and of course your gold medalist Jackson Strong, making it 8 medals and 8 starts to cap it off here in Norway. So how long do you think the reign of terror will hold on here for the front flip?
I don't know. I don't see any end in sight for these guys. I mean, they're getting more and more comfortable with it each year.
That's what's scary to me, is how in practice, like back in the day, you'd go to best trick events and everyone just kind of, you know, psyching one another out. No one wanted to reveal the big trick until it was go time. And now, I mean, you're just seeing it getting thrown with relative ease.
Yeah, these guys, like I said, they're getting more comfortable with it. I think the variations are going to start flowing more and more as the years move on.
You know, and then going back to what we saw in Minneapolis with David Ronaldo, I mean, that thing came out of nowhere with that body varial backflip, and he made that in the first shot. So that's just kind of a scary look into the future when it comes to best trick.
Yeah, best trick's always been the gnarliest thing in freestyle motocross, and these guys are pushing it yearly. Like I said, for me, it's weird that Josh Sheehan does a double backflip, no-hander, and gets third, and Clint Moore's
right?
doing a Bundy Indy and getting, you know, 4th or 5th, and man, this sport is just crazy.
Here's another interesting X Games Moto X best trick fact for you. That when someone could bring something new to the X Games and they win a best trick comp with it, that within 2 years, that it's ended up being in a freestyle run. That trick has been included in an actual freestyle run within 2 years.
Yeah.
How insane is that?
These kids are insane, and they push the envelope, and that's what this sport needs to keep it fresh and keep it going.
So there you go. Monster Energy Moto X best trick is in the book. As we take a look at some pretty pictures here before we wrap this one up. Jackson Strong walking out of here with a 96 flat, taking home yet another gold medal. However, the day is far from over. We've got plenty more still to come here from inside the Telenor Arena here for X Games Norway 2019.